Good morning and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center Saxe this Sunday, Valentine's Day, February 14, 2021. A few notes before we start this morning. Due to the weather here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we're not broadcasting from our center in Saxe, Texas. We're broadcasting from my home here in Dallas. Welcome to my house, Mi Casa, Su Casa. So, we don't have the same high-tech equipment here at my house that we have at the center. So there may be some differences in sound. You may hear the furnace come on and then it'll go off. You may hear other noises if there's something going on outside. Also, the picture may not be as clear because we're not using the same camera. So this Sunday, we're endeavoring to give you the same wonderful experience that we give you at our center. We just have a few other technical issues to deal with today because of a special circumstance. So we ask for your patience and keep an open mind. We're going to have a wonderful experience as usual. Let's prepare for service. Let's take a deep breath together. Breathe in and exhale. Breathe in and exhale. As always, we clear our minds, open our hearts as we prepare for an experience together like none other. And all of us are joined as one, energetically. There is no space or time in spirit. And so though we are all sitting in our separate homes, we are all still one. And so as we breathe together, there is but one breath. And there is just one life. So we continue to breathe together, inhaling and exhaling, breathing in love and harmony and peace, exhaling harmony, love, and peace. We let go of all of the distractions that might be here in our homes today. We mentally take off those hats that we wear throughout the week. Those of us who are contending with a wintry blast that we're not used to, we let go of all of our worries around that. We just allow ourselves to sink down into our heart space, knowing that everything is always working out for us, knowing that our highest and best is always at work in our lives. And we let go, and we let God. We let go, and we let God. And as we breathe together, we feel ourselves sink into that groundedness, the heightened awareness of spirit as we get silent. And we remember who and what we are in this moment. We remember who and what we are in this moment. Individual expressions of the divine, with dominion over our thoughts, words, and actions. We are love incarnate. We are the hands and feet of God on this planet. Let's take another deep breath in together. Breathe in. Exhale. And now we sing our centering song, Spirit's Prayer.
Loving Spirit dwells in me. is my divinity, as within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity, as within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore.
So with the children of the world in our hearts and in our minds, all the children of the world, we now recite our children's blessing. Together, children of light, we see you guided and directed by an inward spirit that leads you into the path that is right for you. We see you strong and whole. We see you blessed and prospered. We see you courageous and confident. We see you as the spiritually perfect beings you truly are. Children of light, we bless you. And our inspiration moment for today is from 365 Science of Mind, and the word is prosperity. There is a presence in the universe that is personal to us. It is the spirit of which we are the direct individualizations. Whenever we create an idea, it is because a demand has been made upon the mind of God that is incarnate in us. We mentally measure out what we shall receive in terms of the limitations of our previous experiences. But little by little, we see that we can grow, and experience adds to experience until we accumulate an ever greater possibility. Each one of us is a direct inlet and direct outlet to God. This infinite personalness residing within us is never limited by or separated from us except by the degree of our own ignorance. Our inner voice is always instantly available to guide and direct us through the vicissitudes of living. Go eat your bread with enjoyment and drink your wine with a merry heart, for God has long approved what you do. From Ecclesiastes 9, verse 7. Now let's repeat 3 times our affirmation for the day. I am open to the influx of joy, love, wisdom, and guidance. I am open to the influx of joy, love, wisdom, and guidance. I am open to the influx of joy, love, wisdom, and guidance.
This is the moment, this is the hour, time to put everything on the line, yeah. And I am the answer, I am the reason, I'm a believer, it's all inside of me. And I will not be broken by some fear, and I will not stand still again, and I won't fall apart like all those times before, 'cause I won't take it anymore, 'cause this is a revolution, and I am a changer, I am the master of all I see, and I'm the beloved, I am a lover, I am the spirit inside of you and me, and I will not be broken by some fear, and I will not stand still again, no, and I won't fall apart like all those times before, 'cause I won't take it anymore. No, 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 no. Whoa, 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 whoa. I will no longer compromise my life. I will no longer waste so much time, 'cause I know that this is a revolution, and you are a changer, you are the master of all you see, and this is your moment, this is your moment, time to put everything on the line. Whoa, whoa. Oh. Well, this is your moment, this is your moment, time to put everything on the line. This is your moment, this is your moment, this is your moment.
Good morning again. According to History.com, there's some controversy about who St. Valentine really was. There are varying stories. Apparently, Valentine was a very popular name in biblical times. It is a male given name derived from a Latin word that means strong. So there are actually a number of stories, two of which are the most popular, about a priest or a bishop, depending on which story you're reading, that was imprisoned and healed a child while in prison and was executed by decapitation. Actually, the practice of joining romance with St. Valentine's Day did not start until the days of Chaucer, the English poet, who lived in the 1300s and early 1400s. And he was purportedly the first who linked St. Valentine's Day with romance. And then that kind of caught fire within England after that time. So Valentine's Day is kind of a mixed bag of things. Of course, it's hugely commercialized, and most of us flock to the stores when we're not having a wintry mix and buy Valentine's cards. We buy gifts. Sometimes people go way out and do big gestures or smaller gestures, little things. We take our loved ones out to dinner, perhaps buying gifts. Others have some kind of trepidation if they feel like their Valentine's Day isn't so special if they're not in a relationship. I remember those single days and going to work and watching the flowers and the roses being delivered to those who were dating people or married to people who were good on the big gestures. Love sometimes is tied to big gestures, to the big things in life, the exclamations and proclamations of love. And perhaps love is much more than that. I do believe it is. There's a television show on ABC called A Million Little Things. And it's a story about a group of friends in the Boston area. And the story around it, the theme around this is that friendship is not one big thing, but a million little things. And if you watch the show, you know that indeed there are a million things within that group of friends that start to show us or exhibit and portray how love can be in action in a million different ways. You know, our picture of love, our version of love, we get from our family of origin, the way we were raised, watching our parents, how they loved each other, what their relationships were with us. And then we grow up knowing and thinking that love is that. And perhaps that is a wonderful version of love, depending on how you were raised, depending on the relationship of your mother and father that you witnessed. For others, it might not be quite that. Love might be fraught with ulterior motives, with sarcasm, with pain, and then we grow up thinking that love is that. Some of us do believe that love is that love is pain, that love somehow is not that many splendored thing, but is complicated and something that we learn or go into adulthood avoiding because we don't want the pain that love was associated with in our family of origin. So love is a mixed bag of things for a lot of people. And at some point, if we're lucky, or perhaps if we work hard enough, we find another version of love that is deep and abiding, that is life-affirming, that is love with a capital L, that comes from and out of the divine. Love in action, someone said that love is a verb, and so if love is truly a verb, then love shows up different ways in our actions. Perhaps love is forgiveness. Perhaps love is being willing to say yes again and again and again during a time of difficulty within a relationship, whether it is your spouse, a significant other, with your child or some other relative or friend. Perhaps it's being willing to say yes again, to going in again and being willing to talk, to be open. Perhaps love is saying, I need to go away and deal with my anger or deal with my feelings before I can come back and have an adult conversation and say the things that I truly want to say that are indicative of the love I truly have for you. Perhaps love is taking care of a sick friend or parent. Sometimes love shows up as caregiving, Perhaps love shows up when you wake up again with a crying child and they're sick and you're tired. You're more than tired, you're exhausted. And somehow you roll out of bed to go to that child and hold them in your arms and rock them back to sleep one more time when you would just rather have your eyes closed and curled up in bed. Perhaps, friend, love looks like waking up in the middle of the night when the phone rings and hearing that the spouse of your good friend has just been murdered, and you leap out of bed to go to them in order to be of service and to open your heart and to be there for them in a way that you cannot conceive in the moment, but you know that you have to go. Love sometimes is sitting at the bedside of someone who's making their transition, even though your heart is breaking, and not knowing what to say or what to do, but you sit there nonetheless, holding space and being with them as they journey on to the next expression of life. Perhaps love is looking at someone who's homeless standing on the corner, and you're in your car and you hand them some money and you truly look in their eyes and see them. Perhaps, unlike anyone else, has looked at them or seen them in a very long time. Perhaps love is coming to agree to disagree with someone that you're friends with or in some other kind of relationship with, and knowing that perhaps the relationship will not go on, but you wish them the best. And as you leave each other, knowing that you probably will not see each other again, that you're choosing not to see each other again, that you do wish their highest and best for all of their days. Sometimes we have to let people go, even though we love them. Maybe especially because we love them, we need to let them go. Because we love ourselves, there are some relationships that are not healthy for us, that are perhaps toxic. But it doesn't mean that we have anger or a lack of love for this particular person. Sometimes love means saying goodbye, or goodbye for a time until we can process and settle our feelings and know what truly is in our hearts and how we wish to move forward. There's so many love songs. There's a very well-known New Thought musical artist, Greg Tamblyn, who had a talk, and it was about, he called them victim whiny love songs. We all know those songs, the songs that talk about how you complete me and I can't live without you if you leave me. That will do anything and bear anything, any pain, compromise ourselves just for the sake of love. And it all sounds wonderful, it all feels wonderful in the moment as the music is playing and we're singing our hearts out. But that perhaps that's not the best version of love for us and for the other person at that time. Love is indeed a very complicated thing. But the love that is God, the love that is like God, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, everywhere in everything, The love that is described in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, the love that bears all things, heals all things, endures all things, the love that never ends, and that amongst faith and hope is the greatest of all gifts. That is the love, perhaps, that we all strive for, that we're all looking for as we are going through life's ups and downs and experiencing all these complicated, limited versions of love that are the human experience sometimes. They say that everything that happens, all behavior is actually a call for love, no matter what that behavior looks like. That if someone's angry with us, perhaps if they have words of sarcasm for us or confusion, when people just kind of act out, that is actually a call for love that has everything to do with them and nothing to do with us as the object of that negativity. And at those times, we are called to that higher version of love, that love with a capital L, that love that is God. It calls us to show up differently. And sometimes we're able to reach that. Sometimes we're able to be that love in that moment. And sometimes we fall short. I know many times I have. Because in our humanness, our stuff shows up when the other person's stuff is showing up. Loving myself has been being willing to forgive myself in those times when I have shown up as something other than that higher love, that omnipotent love that can bear and endure all things. There are moments of love that drop us to our knees, that bring us to tears. Sometimes it's in a look at someone. My grandmother had a way of looking at me that just made you feel love flooded all over you, like you were the only person in the world in that moment. That is love for me. And as I speak of it now, I can feel the emotion around that because I see her smile and I can feel that love that even though she's been gone for many years now, I can still feel that same thing flooding through me and all over me at the thought of her smile and that look of love, that she was a master at giving. And I'm sure she gave it to all those that she loved at various times. Love sometimes is a touch. Someone just walking by you and laying a hand on your back or your shoulder. My family was famous for that, is famous for that. Sometimes it's a kiss or a hug, a squeeze of the hand. Sometimes love is just willing to be silent. Someone willing to be quiet with you when you have no words, and they make themselves available to listen with you in the silence and to bear what you are bearing in that moment. That is love. Many of us have had pets, and they are, especially dogs, are wonderful at that unconditional love. They're happy to see you, even if you've just stepped out of the room for a minute or two, and you walk back in and they're just all over the place, happy to see you, tails wagging, tongue hanging out, ready to give kisses and run around and play and rejoice that you've just walked back in the room after 1 minute of being gone. That, for many, is an expression of unconditional love. Love is wonderful. And when we are able to find it within ourselves, I believe that is when love changes for us. I know for me, when I was able to experience the love of God within me through prayer and meditation, and when I started to see God and love in other people, life changed 180 degrees. 180 degrees. It just made an about face, and everything changed for me. The world seemed to have a different color and a different feeling and a different sound for me. All of my senses seemed to experience love at a different level then. There's a very beautiful song from the movie The Color Purple. And I've had the pleasure of singing that with the choir at Unity of Dallas a number of times when the choir there was in its heyday under the direction of Neil Mowles. God is inside me and everyone else that was or ever shall be. I came into this world with God, and when I finally looked inside, I found it. God is the flowers and everything else that was or ever will be. And when you feel the truth so real, and when you love the way you feel, you found it. Just as sure as moonlight blesses the night. And after that, the choir just comes in and it sings about the color purple and the honeybees and the rolling rivers and the beauty of nature and God and all the ways that God shows up as love in this world. And this prosperity, this abundance of love and goodness that's in the world. That's the kind of love that is God. That is truly an experience and not this fleeting feeling that we have sometime from our humanness, that we see and feel and perceive with human eyes and our human mental processes. That song moves me so much because it really says a lot about love, that love is me and all of you. And that when I see love in me, I see love in you. When you see love in you, it's easier for you to see love in me and everyone else. When we can appreciate the beauty of a flower, the honeybee, as it does its work, as it pollinates. When we see the color purple, a field full of lavender, that is indicative of love for so many, including myself. That's the kind of love that stops us in our tracks, that catches our breath. And in that moment, I believe we experience God and goodness in all of its fullness. And like the inspirational word for the day, prosperity, we are rich in all things. And we feel a richness in ourselves that perhaps we may not have felt before seeing that field of purple. One of the lyrics in that song, the color purple, where does it come from? And my answer is divine love. That in this creation that we get to experience on this physical plane, there is love truly all around. Our job is to be open to it. The gift we get when we are open to it is priceless. The gift is priceless. I believe love truly is a million little things. A million little things. And we get to express that love in a million different ways with a million different people by sharing love, feeling love, expressing love, radiating love as we do the things we are called to do each and every day. You get to express love as you're grocery shopping. You get to express love as you're driving in traffic. You get to express love when you walk your dog, feed your cat, when you're making breakfast, preparing a meal. You get to express love when you're doing the laundry, washing the dishes, cleaning the rest of the house, doing things that we call toil and work and chores. We get to be love in those moments. And perhaps that's where the greatest challenge is, to see love where we think love does not exist or cannot possibly exist. The things that we have judged to be something other than good, something other than love. I believe true love calls us to see love even in those moments, even in those people that are hard to love. Because if we truly are love, then so are they. Like the lines from that song I just sang. Love is inside me and everyone else that was or ever shall be. And so my prayer for you this Valentine's Day is that you truly know yourself as love. And that when you feel that gift, when you truly feel it inside of you, that you're open to the gift of seeing love in everyone else that was or ever shall be. Happy Valentine's Day. And let's take this into meditation. Let's take a deep breath together right now, breathing in love, exhaling love. Continuing to breathe, feeling love course through our veins, feeling love emanate from our bodies through every single pore, out through our homes where we are sitting right now, outside of the rooms, outside of the walls, out into the world, to every being that ever was or ever shall be, around the planet, into every corner of the world that is experiencing conflict right now, into the corner of every heart of every being that is feeling something other than love right now. We breathe love into every corner of the world, into every heart of every being. And we know that with each breath, right here and right now in this meditation, and with every breath after this service has ended, every breath that we take for the rest of our lives, that we are breathing in love and breathing out love to every being that ever was and ever shall be. We continue to breathe love, affirm love, see ourselves with love and as love. We infuse our vision, our physical sight, and this sight of the mind, the divine mind through which we see, the eyes of God through which we can see the world. And we infuse love into that sight, so that more often during the day we are seeing everything with the eyes of love. We see every situation, every word, every deed with love at the back of it. We see all anger, all confusion, all grief, all sadness, all pain as a call for love. Everything, yes, is a call for love. And just as the name Valentine comes from the root of a Latin word meaning strong, we are strong in love. In this moment and in every single moment from here on. We are the strength of love. In those moments that we've never expressed love before. For we know that we have dominion over our thoughts, words, and deeds. And from this moment forward, we choose to be love in our thoughts, words, and deeds. And now let's just be in the silence together for a few moments, radiating as love and sharing love with ourselves and all beings. As we prepare ourselves to return to the room and continue our service, we affirm that love, love, love is truly all there is. Love is all there is. Love is all there is. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. So while we are in this space of love, though we are not together, we are going to pray for those who are in need. And so right where you are, I want you to call out the names of those for whom you want to pray. And for all of these names that have been said aloud, for all those who live in our hearts, we know that their highest and best is now at work in their lives. And that everything that they think they may be lacking in this moment actually truly exists in infinite potentiality within themselves. And so we know and affirm that there is only love in every situation now, and that it will show up as prosperity, love, healing, joy, comfort, harmony, peace. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. Now we prepare for our offertory. Let's recite together our celebration of giving. Together, divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all the good that I am and have, all the good that I give and receive. And so it is.
Please do not forget gratitude. Today I saw the sun. I stood out in the rain and watched the eagle fly again. I heard a baby cry and walked right through the storm and felt the wind upon my face. And all the while I could not help but see the life that lives and breathes in you and me. And I'm peaceful, yes, and I'm grateful, and I'm thankful, oh Lord, yes I am. And I'm hopeful, yes, and I am so full, and I'm thankful, oh, I am. I hugged an old oak tree, the earth beneath my feet, and saw a shooting star above. I looked into your eyes and touched an open heart and fell into a whole lot of love. And all the while I could not help but see, oh, the life that lives and breathes in you and me. And I'm peaceful, yes, and I'm grateful, and I'm thankful, oh Yes, I'm thankful. Oh, I am. Yes, I am. So grateful, so thankful. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Oh, I'm thankful, so thankful. I'm thankful, so thankful. I'm thankful, so thankful. So thankful. So grateful.
Before we get to our announcements, I first want to thank my husband, Quentin Pitts. We're very lucky that I'm married to our AV tech, so I was able to have the technology so that we could have a full service today. Otherwise, I would have been sitting with my phone and talking to you on Facebook Live today. So thank you, Quentin, very, very much. He spent a lot of last evening and this morning setting up so that we could have music and all of our prayers and my talk and here in front of our beautiful fireplace and broadcast to you even in this winter storm. So I'm very, very grateful to him for his hard work and for the genius that helped us put this together and bring this service to you this morning. So thank you, Quentin. I love you dearly. Happy Valentine's Day. So here's our announcements for the day. Do we have any slides, sir?
Well,
I'm throwing a loop
I don't know
to
what
the
that-
tech genius.
Okay, hang on.
It's not a big deal if we can't get it. There we go. So our book study continues Tuesdays, 6:30 to 8 o'clock, actually 8:30 p.m. via Zoom. And we are working on the chapters that are the 8 pillars of joy. So join us. You don't have to read the book again in order to join us for the discussion. You can easily get into the discussion with what we're talking about. So join us for this book study on Tuesdays. We only have 2 more Tuesdays left to go, and we'll be finished with this particular book study. And it's just been an absolute joy. The insight and the gifts that have come out of these discussions have just been very, very rich. So next 2 Tuesdays coming up. We have this Wednesday coming is the 3rd Wednesday, and so we have the grief sharing experience. Go to thecalltopeace.com in order to get the link on Zoom. So those of you who are suffering and experiencing loss, no matter what the source of that loss is, come and share your feelings, your thoughts, what you're going through, and we will walk this journey of grief together and share the load. So this Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. And I just want to make an announcement about the tax statements for those of you who are donors to Unity Spiritual Center Saxe. If we have your email address, then those tax statements were emailed out. Do you need me to pause? Oh, okay. So check your email. You may have to look in your spam folder if you didn't see it in your inbox for the tax statements. If we do not have your email address, then I will be mailing out your statements as soon as I can get into the center and get to them. I may be able to access that information here at home, but if I can't do that in the next couple of days, I will do it as soon as I get into the center and into my office and mail those remaining statements. And we have one last slide I'd like to show you. We are looking for a volunteer Zoom tech. We may need more than one, someone who can assist us on the technical side when we are using Zoom for book studies, for classes, and sometimes during our Sunday service. So the tech needs to be able to provide technical assistance for board meetings, classes, etc. Admit attendees during meetings, to assist attendees with sign-in and enabling audio and video when necessary, sharing screens as needed, and to monitor any chat for questions, comments, etc. If you are someone that has those skills and would like to share your talent with us, that would be great. If you know somebody who has these skills, please let me know. You can send an email to kandrews@unitysaxe.org, or you can give us a call at the center. So now we're moving into the end of our service. Let's go to our mission and vision and our prayer for protection. Let's recite together our vision and mission. We are Unity Spiritual Center Saxe. We are a thriving global community of spiritual seekers, transforming lives through love and the expression of our innately divine gifts. Our mission is to inspire spiritual and personal growth through the teaching and demonstration of unity principles toward the realization of living our best lives. Do we have the prayer for protection? Divine wisdom is at work in every area of our lives right now. Everything is truly always working out for us. Prayer for protection.
I don't know where it is.
Okay, no problem.
Hang on.
Quentin's looking for the prayer for protection, so we can recite it together as we end our service together. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for being open-minded and patient as we tried to make all the technical things work today. It has been a challenge. Again, Quentin, thank you very much for everything. Of course, things were kind of wonky, or at least it felt like it from here. I hope your experience was as wonderful as usual. Thank you very much for being with us.
Okay, almost got it.
He says he's got it. It's coming. It's coming.
Where's that sound come from?
My phone. Let's recite together the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Again, thank you very much. Be safe. Stay warm in this wintry mix. And as always, we wish you namaste.